Hey guys, welcome to another ramble. Oh my goodness, I've been just thinking about a lot of stuff over the past few days, haven't I? Today's video is going to be about spiritually inclined people. And I'm gonna start off by saying that I feel like for the most part, I want to say people who can't understand something will demonize something, right? I think this has been going on for aeons, if I were to be completely honest, right? I feel like if people don't understand something, they immediately demonize, ostracize, put it down, make that thing or person feel non-inclusive. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's fear-based. I mean, if you don't understand something, then I think the natural tendency or reaction is to be afraid of it. Oh, I don't understand this. I don't know this. This is completely foreign to me. So let me just, like I said, just demonize it. You know? For me, I don't know. That seems like a very limited mindset. If I don't understand something, I absolutely want to understand. Absolutely. And then, the fear of the unknown. For me, I think if you've been watching my videos for some time, it's if I'm afraid of something, then I might initially be oh, this is making me nervous. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out or, whatever, but then I'll go straight into it just out of curiosity. I'm okay, I'm afraid of this, but I'm gonna, I guess, transmute the fear into excitement, and I'm gonna use that as fuel to propel me forward and into the unknown, and then also, like I said, it's also fueled by my curiosity and my inquisitive nature, because I like to experiment. I like trial and error. It's and if you don't try something new or try something that makes you afraid, then you just stay in place, right? You just never know. I mean, I feel irregardless, if you push forward and you have a outcome that you perceive to be negative, which really isn't negative, it's just a lesson, then you learn something. Oh, I tried that, I didn't like it, I'm not gonna do it again. Or maybe I tried it, I didn't reap the results that I thought I would get, but let me try again, just to be sure. You know what I mean? Or you try it and you're whoa, that was the best thing ever, and now I'm in a whole nother timeline, a whole nother with a whole nother lens to view the world through, and it's amazing, but you don't know till you try. I always tell people that, it's yeah, like I said, initially I'll hesitate, and then I'll just be forget it, I'm gonna try this, because I want to know how this is gonna work out. And I feel because I, and possibly you, live life in such a way, you don't really have regrets, or you don't have any remorse, because it's you didn't hold yourself back. You know what I mean? It's just okay, well, I gave it my best shot and it didn't work out, so I have no regrets or remorse, and cool. You know what I mean? But anyways, going back to spiritual people, oh my god, that was a rant, wasn't it? Or a ramble. Going back to spiritual people, I feel a lot of people, I want to say 80 to 90% of the people on the earth don't understand spirituality. And when I talk about spirituality, I'm not talking about religion. Religion is like school, they take you to, they have all these religious practices, religious texts, religious mental constructs, in order to steer people into a particular way of thinking and believing, and like I said, if you subscribe to somebody else's story, then you perpetuate it. you give it energy, you give it attention, you know, and you just kind of like are feeding someone else's story. You know, I'm not saying that religion is bad. I mean, school, like, look at school. School isn't bad. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, right? Obviously, you go there to congregate, to meet others, to, you know, I guess prepare you for like future, prepare you for, I don't know, like how you proceed in like future activities in your life, which ultimately shape your life. You know, your choices shape your future, you know. So, you know, there's pros and cons to everything. If you take things literally though and you don't question it, then you're basically just subscribing to somebody else's story. For me, I will totally ask questions. And I think that makes people uncomfortable. I either get people who like are, I want to say, impressed, like, oh my god, this person's actually asking me about something, and this person is actually helping me to think outside of the box because they're asking me about something that I've never thought of before. Let me think on it. Or they'll get like really offended and defensive and just be like, attack me for my inquiries. But either way, I get an answer. You know, I get a response or I get a reaction, you know. But that's not going to stop me. I'm going to ask questions. You know, I think in previous videos I said INFJs are not inclined to just take things at face value. You know, just because somebody tells me, oh, this is a rock, I'm not going to go, oh, yeah, that is a rock. No, I'm going to be like, why do you think that's a rock? Like, what, like, yeah, whatever. I'll just, like, go into it, man. And like I said, some people are impressed by that skill set, and some people are, like, totally, like, I don't know, they don't like it. Because it's just, like, it forces them to, like I said, like, move out of their comfort zone and, like, think outside the box, think differently, see different angles. They don't like that, you know. It's just like, and that's how you know those people are like probably like more small-minded or closed-minded. But yeah, so spiritual people fall into the category of probably the unknown, you know, because in school and in, I don't know, maybe even religions, they just talk about like following something, like, hey, this system is in place, just mindlessly follow it. You know, this is it. This is the end game. Just follow this. You know, and then we kind of like, if you subscribe to that, then you kind of just parrot the information and you perpetuate it, and then it just kind of like is what we're living in today. You know? But for me, I'm just like, I don't know, man. This stuff doesn't make sense. Like this, like there's a lot of things that a lot of people subscribe to that just don't make sense to me. And if it doesn't make sense to me, I obviously am not going to just mindfully, you know, the wordplay. I'm not gonna just like mindfully follow that. I'm just gonna be like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Like, you're telling me this is a rock. Obviously, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Tomato, tomato. But yeah. So people don't. I feel like, yeah, in school, like, people are taught, like, I don't know, very third-dimensional concepts, but they're not taught beyond that. They're not taught, like, the fourth-dimensional, fifth-dimensional concepts, you know, and it even goes even further, guys. But, yeah, and so if they don't understand it, they just kind of, like, you know, herd mentality. It's like, well, I don't want to be ostracized or demonized for standing out, so I'm just gonna like follow what everyone else does because it's comfortable, it's safe, I'll be accepted. You know, they're afraid to like be alone with themselves. They're afraid to like question the herd, you know, because if you question the herd, then you'll be there is possibilities of being like an outcast, a black sheep, which I feel like I've been for most of my life, but it's been ever so clear as I get older. And before I didn't like it. Now I'm kind of like just accepting it. Like, okay, I'm the black sheep. I'm the I'm the one that like kind of like dances to the beat of my own drum. Most people can't understand me. Most people don't want to understand me. And that's not my problem. That's not going to prevent me from being me. That's not going to prevent me from being authentically me, you know? And I also have come to the conclusion that because people are afraid of what they don't understand, they're unwilling to step out of comfort zones, you know? And then because we are willing to step out of comfort zones, we've discovered like this whole like another dimension of life. And you know, we can see like a lot of things that most people can't see or perceive yet. I'm sure like humanity is like slowly moving towards being more self-aware and self-conscious. I've seen it over the years, actually, over the past few years. It's become very apparent, and the younger children too are very aware. They're super tuned in, super tapped in. You know, and sometimes I can relate to young kids more than I can to like most adults, if I were to be completely honest, because adults are just fixated. You know, they don't know anything else. They don't question it. They just kind of operate from that particular like stance, and you can't get through to them. It's like talking to a wall. Whereas the children are not as programmed yet, and not only that, I feel like the children that are coming in currently, they're just more self-aware and self-evolved, like from the get-go. You know, that's why you see prodigies. You know, they're tapped in, they're tuned into their gifts. They don't have to like open those dimensions within themselves. It's already open, and they're already like claiming it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, that's why like I think most people think people who are more spiritually inclined are like woo woo, like, oh, they're so woo woo. I'm just like, some people are. I'm not gonna be honest, because I feel like some spiritually inclined people are imbalanced in their, I don't know, it could be many things. It could be their energy centers, it could be their mental, their emotional, their, you know, their energetic, their whatever, their it could be imbalanced, so they come off super left field. But that doesn't mean that, you know, they're not seeing things through a particular lens that isn't true. It's just imbalanced. You know? Like for me, I don't know, I mean, I don't know how other people see me, but I think I'm pretty balanced, you know? Like, I know when to talk about spiritual things, I know when not to talk about it, you know what I mean? And I don't like, yeah, dude, I don't know, it's weird. Everybody's in their own particular, like, segment, you know, and progression on the path, so you can't really say anybody's right or wrong. They're just in a particular place or space or timeline, you know? And then when you don't understand that, that's when you have inclination to judge it, you know, and like criticize it, ostracize it, make it bad, make it wrong, you know. Also, I mean, I could go into like, I don't know, I was in the post office today, so random, right? And then a piano came to mind. And you know how like piano has like different notes and tones and scales? I was thinking life is like that. You know, and then when you think about music and how powerful music is because of the vibration and the tone and the message and the frequency, it's like different people, depending on which key you are on the piano, that's what will like resonate with you more. So that's why like people who are on a like low vibrational scale, boom, that was a really bad example, but boom, they'll like probably resonate more with like media and music and experiences and things that are on that low, or on that note, you know what I mean? And then as you go up higher on the scales or the keys of the piano, I mean, that's what it is. That's a really great analogy to kind of like create a picture of like human evolution. And when I talk about evolution, I'm talking about consciousness, self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? And it's all like a scale, you know? It's all just different ways of describing the same thing pretty much. And if you think about religion, that's what that is too. You know? It's just like, oh, we've created divisions and sects to like keep people apart, so we fight with each other, which is so dumb because we're just fighting ourselves. You know, because if you look at another person or another thing, you're basically just looking at yourself from an external viewpoint, you know, because everything is you, whether you have come to that conclusion or not. Anyways, I gotta stop talking because I'm gonna go whale watching. I'm so excited. Oh. If you learned anything from this video, great. If you didn't, that's great too. I hope you are well. I hope you're taking good care of yourself and giving yourself time to be present, you know, because that's where the magic happens. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Amen.